when we think about family engagement, really embracing the recognition that family members as a whole have a huge role to play on student success. And we know engagement can look very different for families, different stages, different ages of their children. So when we take a look at drilling down on this one a little bit more, on the next slide here, we talk about 3 pieces. Building trust, especially in communities where there's a lot of new people coming in, or a lot of diversity, or a lot of uncertainty, a lot of changes happening, or strange things are happening, of course, in the post-pandemic or sort of semi-post-pandemic world that we're in right now, going through those transitions. Building trust is a huge piece. If you don't have trust, you can't get anywhere else. Like that Maslow's pyramid, we're not going to get to self-actualization, we're not going to get to student success or anything at the top of that pyramid if we don't have that foundation of trust. Respecting families' needs, figuring out what that means, what does it look like for them to be connected? Are there any availability barriers, time barriers, language barriers, accessibility barriers that are preventing people from getting involved in the school district? Excuse me, and embracing also that shared responsibility. When we look at the idea of empowering community members, it's not just a token ask, it's an important part of that conversation. So we have that sort of like, oh, what do you think? It's not that, it's really engaging people and taking on that responsibility that we're in it together for student success. So I think that idea, when we have the opportunity to build trust, sometimes it is based on responsiveness. That's a really big one. We build trust based on service that we provide. We work with the school district who, one of their foundational issues was not having success in their transportation plans, not successfully being able to pick up students. And that is a fundamental thing. Nothing else can happen in the conversation until that school district can figure out a system in which they can follow up with those parents, follow up with those students, make sure students get on the bus. If that level of trust isn't there, nothing else matters. So having that system in place that you're collecting that feedback, being open to it, allows you to then build on that. So we do a lot of work with students at the beginning of the year, understanding their learning preferences or learning styles. It's not as common though. We do have school districts who do this, but it's not as common to reach out to parents for their individual preferences. You know, what does engagement look like to them? Is it showing up? Is it volunteering? Is it giving a contribution or in-kind or time donation? What does it actually look like? Because we sometimes have this feeling like, oh, people don't want to come to back to school night. That's not the only way to demonstrate engagement. So figuring out what are those ways that people are open to. I taught high school students primarily in the past, most recently. I think that when we're talking about university students, you're not going to see parent engagement there. At the elementary level, we see engagement sort of decrease down from elementary, people bringing in cupcakes for events, all the way down to at these top tier grade levels where it's equally important as well too. So figuring out those opportunities and understanding parents' view of what's going on in that climate.